The following special program is brought to you by Atrion IT Technology, Rhode Island College, Cardi's Furniture, and the Arpin Group. The year was 1789. The United States was still recovering from the Revolutionary War, which had just ended 6 years earlier. The American spirit of independence, hope, and change was all around. For one former British citizen, the allure of a free America was an opportunity to realize a dream. This remarkable man was Samuel Slater, the father of the American Industrial Revolution. Hello, I'm Peter Arpin, and I'm coming to you from inside the historic Slater Mill Museum, along the Blackstone River in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, the very place where Samuel Slater helped begin America's Industrial Revolution. It just seemed appropriate for us to be here for the first stop of ReNewable Now's Green America Hometown Tour. The tour is going to visit 12 cities and towns across Rhode Island. We are going to explore what each town is doing to move to a greener, more sustainable future, all the while making economic sense. The world is changing around us. If we don't change with it, we will be left behind. As population grows, demands for natural resources will grow higher and higher. It will take innovative minds, smarter products, new forms of manufacturing, and alternative energies to keep America strong. This new green economy does create some challenges, but it also creates opportunities. Opportunities that Rhode Island needs to take advantage of. In some ways, there is already a revolution happening, a green revolution. The question is whether Rhode Island is ready, willing, and able to take advantage of what's to come. ReNewable Now could not have chosen a better spot to launch our tour than along the Blackstone River, at Slater Mill, the very birthplace of America's Industrial Revolution. So, we pose the question, can Pawtucket become a home to the Green Revolution? Joining me in part one of our four-part profile of Pawtucket is Mayor Donald R. Garibian, City Planning Director Michael DeValio, Richard Kazarian, Economic Development Director, and Thomas Mann of the Pawtucket Foundation. That's all next as we begin the Green America Hometown Tour. Welcome back to ReNewable Now, and welcome to our first stop on the Green America Hometown Tour. We are here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, in Hope Artis Village, which got the benefit of an investment tax credit, which a lot of people would like to see reinvented and brought back in. I am here with the mayor and his fantastic team. So nice to see you again.
Good to see you too, Peter.
If you don't mind, just tell everybody.
First, let me take the opportunity thanking you for using Pawtucket as the first stop. We're appreciative.
We are honored. It's great.
And I know time's short, so we're going to keep it concise, but we have, to my left is Mike DeVolio, who is the planning director for the city of Pawtucket. Richard Kazarian, who is the Economic Development Special Liaison Coordinator.
And that guy I know.
And Thomas Mann from the Pawtucket Foundation.
Tom did a great job on the show with us. Mayor, let's start off with you real quick. The history of the city as it relates to the economy and the environment, and how that's kind of impacting and influencing your administration.
We look back and we all know about Slater Mill and how it was the impact and how it began the Industrial Revolution. And we look back now, and Pawtucket is trying to reinvent itself into what it really means to us. But when you tie it to the green economy, and you look back at, we're looking at ways that we can reduce energy, increase our energy supply, reduce the usage, recycling, and all those types of things. And so you look back at where we started, we're trying to be that same revolution at the time and tie it into where we want to be.
Learn from some of the past.
Absolutely, you tie it all together.
Some of the mistakes, and we're going to talk about that in that last segment. Michael, what is your focus right now on the local green economy?
Well, we have a number of things. We just completed a program called Healthy Places by Design that has done a lot to focus attention on a lot of different aspects of healthful living. And it's not just making a community more walkable, but it's trying to provide better access to healthy foods and a lot of those kinds of elements. And that has been a very successful program. It's really raised a lot of awareness. We're also in the middle of an energy efficiency program with the city, where we have, with the use of federal and state grant funds, we've done things like, small things really, like changing all of the traffic lights in the city to LED lighting.
I saw that on the site. Yep, that
Yep.
was one of the things that you did, right? And your
Yes.
energy studies, energy audits, looking at your
Absolutely.
at your buildings.
Yep.
And you make a great point. It has to start small. There's fundamental things you have to do
Right.
first and foremost,
Yep.
right?
And that energy audit pointed out to us, for example, that nearly 60% of the energy that the city uses is in our vehicle fleet, and the other 40% is in buildings. And so we want to take a look at both ends of that and see where we can make some differences. We're starting to look at converting oil-fired burners, for example, to gas to make them more economical and more efficient. So we're looking at a lot of different elements and trying to pull them all together in a way that makes sense for the city.
Excellent. Richard, what are some of the assets that the city has, City of Pawtucket, as kind of a platform for building a brighter, more sustainable future?
Well, I think, Peter, it goes back to history really in two ways. First of all, we're not so much inventing something new as rediscovering something that always existed that we've lost sight of. And that is work and living were always connected in Pawtucket. And we can take that all the way back to the 18th century and artisanal traditions where people literally lived and worked in neighboring or the same space. And we see a lot of that now with our mill conversions. And it makes for a city where we're seeing people work now. And I suppose at this moment when gas prices are so high, and 50 years after the suburbanization that came at Pawtucket's expense, the city's being repopulated by people who want to come back to a city. And there's a cultural appeal, I think, as part of that, where they want to live within a community that's rebuilding ourselves. And that's a great asset, whether it's longtime Pawtucket residents who have never lost their determination to rebuild the city, or a new crop of residents who quite honestly want to help us rebuild. They're living, they're opening their businesses there, and they're taking a lot of their recreation within the city. So
Well, one of the points Tom made when he did the show with us is that the city suffered greatly when the highway systems went in.
That's right.
And kind of divided those neighborhoods. And so part of that process is how do you bring that back together with some kind of walkable solution, transportation system? So is that part of the asset that you'd like to recover?
Yeah, clearly it is, Peter. I mean, you talk about, look at now as we get the new bike routes that are coming through, you know what I mean? And we're trying to capitalize on that. So absolutely it plays an important role. You look at, we look from a city as with our new bridge, that's a new beginning for us, you know, and so we're tying in all our, from a rapid transit to bike paths and how do we gain access and really start looking at it from a green perspective. So you're right, it does tie into it.
Thomas Mann, Pawtucket Foundation. Question for you. How does technology play a role in the city quickly achieving these goals?
Well, I think one example would be with transportation. There's new advances in intelligent transportation systems which make taking the bus or a train more efficient. And with rapid transit that's coming into the city, just in Pawtucket alone, I think the investment is close to $500,000 that would equip buses with sensors that would give them signal priority at intersections. So the buses can go from Pawtucket to Providence, where there's a lot of jobs and activities, very quickly and efficiently. And then you'd also have computer terminals at the bus stops that would be announcing when the next bus is going to arrive, so people know what to expect.
That's a good example. Give us a second. We're going to take a break. We will be right back.
Nature's Rest, New England's most popular latex brand, is now exclusively at all Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattress locations. Nature's Rest eco-friendly construction includes a plant-based poly-support core with carbon-negative wood foundation base.
Latex is the Earth's best natural resource for sleep, and Nature's Rest mattresses are proven to provide superior pressure relief to give you a more restful, rejuvenating night's sleep.
Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattresses.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin Moving Guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The Moving Guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.
Hello, I'm ABC6 meteorologist Steve Cascione.
And I'm Peter Arpin from ReNewable Now.
ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence are joining forces with ReNewable Now to bring you the business side of green.
That's right, Steve. We are going all out to bring the latest trends in green and the green economy. From lawmakers and educators to business leaders and entrepreneurs, you'll learn from the experts that are making a difference.
Weekends go green with ReNewable Now on ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence.
Welcome back to ReNewable Now. Mayor, how do you get your citizens and your businesses to buy in to the changes and to the vision you have for this city?
Well, I think there's a couple things, Peter. You know, you talk about what has always been the philosophy and the way things have been done, and having only been in office about 14 months, you know, you go out and it's really about awareness, and you do it through the press, you do it through the neighborhood meetings, through the neighborhood organizations, you know, but it goes back to the question you had a minute ago with Thomas and the technology, is where our resources naturally in these financial times are very, very tied up, and so it's hard, we don't have the dollars. But when you look at it, with today's technology, we should be utilizing our websites much more efficiently, and that's a goal, and it's been a goal of ours since the beginning, but it comes down to the funding that we have. But I think that there's a lot of outreach that we can utilize it. Today it's all about the technology and how do you streamline it. So you have your awareness is done through neighborhood meetings right now. You know, it's done the old-fashioned way. It's done through mailing, and so, you know, through coffee hours that we'll have in different areas and different neighborhoods. I go around twice a year into the neighborhoods, and I do 6 different neighborhood meetings, so we bring certain things out. But
let me ask you a quick question, and you guys can jump in. Do you get the feeling that the citizens and the businesses would be willing to invest more money, which really comes in the form of taxation, right? In order, if you were able to show that you could reduce cost, improve the quality of life, and really build a sustainable framework there in Pawtucket.
And that's what we've been looking to do, is to try to give that sustainability, and we haven't done a good job at that right now. You know what I mean? Is how do we get the buy-in? The foundation has been a great asset, and they kind of have the businesses all organized in the city. And so I think that people nobody wants to raise taxes and nobody wants to pay more taxes, but I think that if we did our job, you know, through the social media and those types of things, and through the one-on-ones with the business meetings that we have, I think they would have
demonstrated some success
absolutely
in reducing cost, right? In building a better infrastructure. Now this is open. Let me ask you this. What are some of the milestones that you've hit, that you've achieved, that really is going to set the stage for a better future for the city?
One that I can think of, and it occurred virtually when I arrived last June. I can't take any credit for it whatsoever, but the city adopted a downtown design plan that has really helped the community to focus on issues that are important to the revitalization of downtown. And we've started to tackle some of that low-hanging fruit already. We've changed our zoning ordinances.
So it's purely downtown and along the river? I mean, it's very focused on...
It's focused, and we've made it much easier for developers to come in and have a more predictable outcome, which is a critical element. And we've looked at ways to make it easier for people to get around downtown. You know, Thomas mentioned the things that we're doing with the buses. One of the benefits of having that rapid transit is that as RIPTA comes into town and examines the intersections where they want to change the traffic lights, we can piggyback on that a little bit and look to see where we can also be changing the lights at the same time, perhaps using some of their money, perhaps using some of our money, and create some of the two-way street traffic flows that we've been trying to do as well.
Which would be great for the city, because I know you get complaints about that. And so,
Yep.
and this energy audit that you touched
Yep.
on.
Yes.
And looking at really remodeling your facilities, that I assume is part of what you needed to do to get ready to make
Yep.
the right investments?
Yes, and as we do that as a city, it sets an example for local business. When they see that we're saving money
Absolutely.
by converting from oil to gas, from converting from conventional to LED lighting, when they see the savings that we're realizing, which saves them on their tax bill,
Absolutely.
they can also apply that to their own business.
Yeah, you're doing some of the same things they're doing. What are the cities that you use as role models in this process?
Well, I think, Peter, we draw from numerous cities, but we realize that we have to become our own brand, and we have to become a destination in order to draw the kinds of activity that we're interested in drawing.
But do you have specific, it can be West Coast, do you have specific
Well,
cities
there's two
that you-
initiatives that have come up over the last month or so that really interest us, and it draws from really aspects of a kind of international representation of cities, and it has to do with food. And the first initiative is the Culinary Arts Initiative, which is a plan to make Pawtucket a central location for a dozen vegan and vegetarian restaurants. And we really think that that's about lifestyle and will make the livability and the appeal of Pawtucket a great deal more. Simultaneously, and just over the past couple of weeks, we have, as you know, literally millions of square feet of empty mill space. And the initiative that I think has real potential to connect with the culinary arts is a new urban farms
Yeah,
initiative.
I read about that. Hold on, we're going to take a quick break, but I did see that on the website. We'll come back to that, and we may very well be taking some audience questions. We'll be right back.
Nature's Rest, New England's most popular latex brand, is now exclusively at all Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattress locations. Nature's Rest eco-friendly construction includes a plant-based poly-support core with carbon-negative wood foundation base.
Latex is the Earth's best natural resource for sleep, and Nature's Rest mattresses are proven to provide superior pressure relief to give you a more restful, rejuvenating night's sleep.
Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattresses.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin moving guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The moving guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.
Hello, I'm ABC6 meteorologist Steve Cascione.
And I'm Peter Arpin from ReNewable Now.
ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence are joining forces with ReNewable Now to bring you the business side of green.
That's right, Steve. We are going all out to bring the latest trends in green and the green economy. From lawmakers and educators to business leaders and entrepreneurs, you'll learn from the experts that are making a difference.
Weekends go green with Renewable Now on ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence.
Welcome back. Thomas, a couple things that struck me both off the website, and Richard, you just mentioned something, and things we had talked about before. One was really about historic buildings, and those being an asset of the city and how you restore those and bring those back in. You can touch on that. And also, I think you were talking about at the time that there was potentially a new website being introduced. And that, I don't know if that's happened, but why don't you touch on those two things for us?
Well, sure. I think earlier we were talking about milestones, and I think in the last decade, one of the major milestones in Pawtucket has really been the adaptive reuse of mill buildings. And the building that we're in right now, where the studio is an example of a really catalytic project, 650,000 square feet of space that's been revitalized But even in the downtown along the riverfront, there's 5 or 6 mill buildings that have been redeveloped over the last 10 years. And on average, that has a 1,000% return on investment in terms of tax revenue to the city. It's had just a tremendous impact, but just also in just making the place look nicer and feel nicer.
So getting back to Richard's point, a lot of those sit then in that downtown area, that area that you're so focused on, those buildings, or are they spread out throughout the city?
I would say they're all within about a half-mile radius of the historic Slater Mill and the National Register Historic District of downtown.
So you want to get those obviously rehabbed and get them into residential
Absolutely.
and commercial.
Right.
What about the website you were talking about? Is that new? What are you doing?
On the city website, we have a long way to go, but we're taking a lot of the initiative. We're going to be following the lead on what the foundation had done with their new website. So Thomas, I mean, talk a little bit about the website, because truly you, as far as the city goes,
over the show?
No,
Wait a minute, you move over.
Sorry,
here.
I'm not trying to take your job.
No,
Peter.
you did a great job. Go ahead, Thomas.
Well, clearly, I think my colleagues here have touched on many of the assets Pawtucket has, and the business community actually got together and decided that we really needed to share the Pawtucket story with the world. And there were so many positive attributes and things happening in the city, we needed a good way to market that. And so we turned to the many arts and design professionals that we have in our community. And with purely 100% Pawtucket talent, we engaged several different organizations, and we created a website called experiencepawtucket.org, which really showcases the city as a great place to live, work, and visit.
It does a great job. But let me ask you something real quick, because then I've got one other question before we're going to have to wrap up too. Is there a green team in the city of Pawtucket?
We haven't designated a specific green team. Everything's really been done through the Department of Public Works and the Department of Planning and the initiatives. I think it's important that we do something down that road. We haven't got there yet, so.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I want you all to touch on this just real quick. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. We've got a question. We'll do that real quick before I ask you a final question. Come on up to the mic, please. Introduce yourself and ask the question.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Segerman. I'm Executive Director of the GAM Theater in Pawtucket. And I'm really thrilled that we're having this forum. It's just fantastic that you've made the effort to get out and really talk about sustainability in a meaningful way. One of the things that other communities are doing, I just wanted to throw them out at the mayor and see if there were things that maybe Pawtucket wanted to do as well, is create a cabinet level position called Director of Sustainability, so that there's a full-time effort, and also something like a 20-year plan to change not just the city's buildings, but to lead as you are already, leading by example.
I think that we've looked at some of those options, Yvonne. It's always we're open to it, but as you know, the issues that I face trying to get just an economic development director's full-time position, so I face that challenge. But it is up there on the totem pole. But clearly, our drive has been to try to get an economic development director's position in place, because clearly that's going to be, do we see, that subside and become part of that department? Absolutely. It's a valid point, because you look around and we're a lot more reactionary than we should be, as opposed to the long-term planning.
So that could be part of the green team.
Absolutely. No, you're right.
Real quick.
If I could add to that, though, I would say to you that every planner on my staff is trained to deal with the issue of sustainability, and I've got some great people on my staff. So it's something that we are constantly working towards.
Excellent.
Great, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Give us your vision of Pawtucket in 10 years.
Let's quickly go back and just say, okay, we have a lot of important things. We have a lot of great businesses that are in this community that people don't realize that are still here, that have survived through these tough economic times. We have our Slater Mill, which is, the historic core. We have the potential of the National Park. We have Blackstone Valley Tourism. So I see that we're going to capitalize on not only that, but what can we do as a community in economic development? So 10 years from now, I see two-way traffic finally on downtown. I see a sustainability in our areas of what we call our four corners on Roosevelt and Exchange Street. I also see the bike route connecting from, continuing from Providence and also to Cumberland. So,
and do you see renewable energy?
Absolutely. You look at that. Absolutely. That goes without saying. You look at that, and it has to be part of that.
Well, I am sorry I got to cut everybody off. Thank you so much. You guys did a great job, great opening segment, and I will be right back with some closing thoughts.
Nature's Rest, New England's most popular latex brand, is now exclusively at all Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattress locations. Nature's Rest eco-friendly construction includes a plant-based polysupport core with carbon-negative wood foundation base.
Latex is the Earth's best natural resource for sleep, and Nature's Rest mattresses are proven to provide superior pressure relief to give you a more restful, rejuvenating night's sleep.
Carty's Furniture and Carty's Furniture mattresses.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin moving guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The moving guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.
Hello, I'm ABC6 meteorologist Steve Cascione.
And I'm Peter Arpin from ReNewable Now.
ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence are joining forces with ReNewable Now to bring you the business side of green.
That's right, Steve. We are going all out to bring the latest trends in green and the green economy. From lawmakers and educators to business leaders and entrepreneurs, you'll learn from the experts that are making a difference.
Weekends go green with ReNewable Now on ABC6 and the Live Well Network Providence.
What really impressed me after sitting down with the city's administration is that young first-term mayor Don Garibian is showing strong leadership and acknowledging that there are problems and they are facing them head-on. The mayor's team showed that they have a plan and are already acting on it. Michael DeValio, the city's planning director, has conducted an extensive energy audit to determine where they can save. Economic Development Director Richard Kazarian shares his vision of Pawtucket becoming a home to a vegan culinary institute. And helping to tie it all together is Thomas Mann from the Pawtucket Foundation, who brings the business and city vision together for a brighter future. Next week, we welcome P. Robert Steiner of Cooley Group, Robert Atwood of Resource Controls, and Len Lavoie, a real estate expert, as we talk about producing green jobs and products here in Pawtucket. I'm Peter Arpin for the Green America Hometown Tour, bringing you the business side of green.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin moving guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The moving guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.